welcome to another exciting edition of the Dawson and Denise Show. I'm Denise.
I'm your guy, Dawson.
And we're here with our second week review of Preacher's Daughter and Bring It.
We're going to start with Preacher's Daughter first. Lifetime, like we said, Lifetime is in the race with all the other networks of reality TV, and Preacher's Daughter is by far one of the top reality shows they have on Lifetime. And what did you think about episode 2 of season 2? Yeah, it was so... Let me tell you something.
I'm kind of over it already.
You're over it?
Because the little fake pool party. They're coming to church drunk.
Megan, yeah.
I'm just over it. Now, what I did like is, standing up to your dad and telling him, again, this is my dream. And she seems like she's standing firm in what she believes in. Like she said, and we say all the time, when people come to you and try to tell you what God said to them about your life, it's okay to say, okay, well, he told me something different, or I'll wait to hear from him as well.
Exactly. And I think that's what she's doing by standing up to her father and basically, or trying to. But her father seems adamant to say, this is what I want you to do. And like I said last week, you should never push anybody to do ministry. Or do anything. You should never try to live out your dreams through for your children. Have them live out your dreams.
And her sister told her, look, I've already done that, and I will not allow you to do that.
Exactly. And it just seemed like, I think the dad needs to lay off. Because Colby seems like she has her head on straight. She knows what she wants to do. It's not like she's going into...
And he wants some type of control. I guess because of divorce or whatever. It's like he wants some type of control. He wants to be heard. He wants to try to use the little power that he may still have over her.
And I think what it's going to do is lead her to do what some of the other preachers' daughters are doing with the drinking and then living that wild life, because she's going to begin to rebel and say, okay, I told you I want to go into fashion or whatnot, and now you think, people go to different extremes when they are controlled or feel like they have no say in their own lives.
And as a parent, why wouldn't you support a positive dream of your child?
Exactly.
Or your children. I don't get that part.
He's trying. He wants his legacy to live on. He wants that to go on, and he's trying to fulfill that through Colby. And it's sad. It's sad. And so with Megan's father, Megan went to the pool party. She went to a little party too. Got drunk.
Twerking.
Yeah, did all that kind of stuff. Her Miley Cyrus twerk. Went to church the next day and was basically tore up from the floor up in church. And like I told you guys, it's kind of hard for me watching this because I don't think I've ever went out partying and went to church drunk. I don't think I've done that. I know kids I grew up with in the church.
You haven't done it as a kid. Right.
No, I have not. I have not. Shut up. No, I have not. But I think what Megan wants to do, kind of like with Colby, they want to experience life. When you've been suffocated by you can't do this, or the church is going to judge you, the fathers are going to judge you, your parents, God and everything.
Congregation.
The congregation, man. And it's like their parents, they want them to have the look that, hey, we're Christians, we're saved, and you have to represent not only God, but you're a representation of the parents. And that's hard, especially...
and I can see that pushing you away because, again, I will say, just being a regular kid in today's society. Like my daughter told me that they were selling weed brownies at her school, and then they end up lacing it. So I'm like, okay, so kids knew that they wanted the brownies with the weed in it, but they didn't know they were. I was like, don't you buy nothing from nobody.
It is so hard. That's why I can have sympathy and empathy for the preacher's daughters, because growing up in this time, being under the spotlight of being a preacher's daughter, or they need to come out with preacher's son too, because I think that would be good too. So let's talk about Tori, our 21-year-old, who is Tori just wants, I think that she just needs to move out of her parents' house so she can live the life she wants to live.
That's the one that was at, that's who was at the pool party,
She did the pool party, but Megan also went to a little gathering as well. But Tori went to the pool party. It seemed
fake.
Yeah, it seemed like production arranged that pool party. But she went there and she had, let me be honest, she had one of my favorite drinks, which is Hennessy. And she was going, wow.
And what she said, Hennessy equals horny.
Hennessy equals horny. I
don't want to touch that
because we got teenagers who may be watching the show.
or teenagers that watch Preacher's
Daughters.
Daughters.
Exactly.
But like I said, it's like this show is gonna bring you in because you're gonna be either on one side of the spectrum. You're gonna be either for the church or against the church, and you watching it to prove yourself right with the church, or to say, see, this is why I don't go to church.
Exactly.
And it's just a lot going on.
But see, that's one of the reasons why I was having such a hard time watching it, because you can easily look at Preacher's Daughter, Preachers of LA, when they had the First Lady show, Sisterhood. You can say this is the reason why, this is the reason why. You can look at the news and see what ministers are doing, people in the church are doing, so-called.
And they stole, brief interruption, breaking news. They stole $600,000 from Joel
Osteen's church.
It's like, are you serious?
But things happen in the church. Things happen with different people, and it's just like.
And then you'll have people say, well, why they have $600,000 and why they not doing this with it?
But see, that's why I don't judge the pastor's daughters or preachers themselves, because they are human and have issues just like us. And that's why I can, pull back from last week and look at these girls and say, hey, they are young girls. Like all of them are constantly saying, we did not choose to be minister's daughter. We were not called to the ministry. You were called. That's the resounding theme throughout this show. And I respect that from them.
Crying. You can just look at this.
Yeah.
And they're crying out in so many ways.
All of them, especially Tori and Taylor. Taylor went with Spencer, had a little ice cream date or whatnot. And
see, I think that plan is going to backfire. That plan that her dad had that wants her to get with Spencer because he's such a good guy and he's a youth pastor and all of this stuff, and he has a 3.8.
Yes.
But he's still
he's upset because he doesn't have a 4.0. And that's
and
good. Spencer, hey, get that 4.0.
He's still a guy. A good guy nonetheless.
Exactly.
But he's still a guy.
But Taylor has that look in her eye like, she wants to be wild. And how she was like, ooh, Spencer is nice.
Spencer
but
had that look in his eye too.
Yeah, he did.
Not fooling me.
I know, yeah.
He's not fooling me.
And the ice cream, how they were talking about the ice cream and stuff, all of those innuendos. I'm like, wow, and then you get this show, The Pastor's Daughter, and all of this stuff is going in. But I think with Taylor's father.
And at 18, who sets their child up or try to arrange? But there you go again, just want the image. So
the image, and he sees that his daughter is always going towards that way of being dating and probably, I don't know, out there doing what she wants to do. So he wants to make sure she finds the right guy who can possibly have a good, positive influence on her. But it seems like she's going to end up influencing the guy.
Right.
She's hot. She's out there hot. Her tail is hot. She's ready to go do her own thing. Her and Tori and Megan too. It seems like Colby is the only one who's really trying to, I want to get into do my own thing, build a career and everything. The other girls just want to party and have fun.
And get wasted.
And, a lot of people in the church, Charisma Magazine, a lot of people are writing about this show. But from last week, I really don't have anything bad to say. Is that these are just young girls who are expressing themselves the way most girls their age would do. And if there were guys, would do the same way, And I
wondered how that would go if you said there was a preacher's son. Would there be a woohoo and go
and
ahead,
would they
break
be worse than the girl?
Break every chain. And do whatever you want to do, and then it'll be smiled upon instead of frowned upon.
Exactly. But I think the fathers who are really strict, or the strictest, is Colby and Taylor. I think their fathers are trying to really kind of put their lives together. And
especially like you said, with Colby just trying to do her fashion.
Exactly. That's
do
crazy.
Something that she wants. She's not trying to go out there, drink, smoke. She's trying to live out her dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her father really wants her to do ministry, and I was happy that he did show up at the end to her party, because she was expecting. She didn't expect it, but he did show up. So I was happy about that. And along with Tori's father, I was happy that he told her that he had a problem with drinking as well. So that kind of runs in the family, and he knows that it's an addiction. And addictions are, once you kind of get them under control and break away from it, it's kind of best to stay away from it. And he kind of sees himself in her with that drinking.
And even with that, she has to be careful, because she's in the house. She brings that in the house, and he could be tempted again. So it could not just not only be for her own good, but he knows what he battles with. So he doesn't want that type of stuff in the house, or don't want it around him, because he knows he can't.
Exactly. But I just think I'm really digging this show now. Like I said, I grew up kind of like whose father is Pentecostal preacher? Taylor's father is City of Refuge. And so for Taylor to be in the Pentecostal denomination and doing what she's doing, it's just kind of like, I'm like, wow, because I grew up Pentecostal and we'd get the belt, the switch, grounded and everything. I just never had that mindset, because Pentecostal, apostolic, those people are just like, whew, man, yeah. But I turned out okay, so I mean, there's hope for Taylor, and hopefully the rest of the preacher's daughter. I said I turned out okay. Shut up. Anyway, I did. So yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue to watch, guys. You guys check out too. Let us know what you think about it. But I think I'm digging the show. I'm digging the show. Before I was kind of like hesitant, like season 1 I didn't want to touch it, but season 2 it is what it is. You have pastors' kids who, like I stated last week, are among everybody else's kids, and not everybody is going to be the same or that perfect Christian child that everybody wants. Some people have to go through
hell to come back on fire. I saw that today.
So, yeah. So stay tuned. Next review. Thank you all for listening. Peace.